Hello everyone, my name is Yuelin. The topic of my speech today is I believe. My belief is that everyone has their own music. Everyone feels music through their own feeling, and music is different for everyone. It is not difficult to say through my belief that the music philosophy activates more is aesthetic philosophy. When the Riemann outlines the philosophy, he used musical as the object of work, aesthetic portion, and aesthetic experience. I think the aesthetic of music and the course of the music education, and in Chinese music education, the aesthetic education of music is focus of music courses. The main matter of the aesthetic music courses is that teacher let students learn to music. For my summary, the idealistic has been the mainly aesthetic follows music. For me, what a idealistic most is that aesthetic is based on the subject's personal standard. This is same as my belief. So I think it's not different between good and bad music. Everyone shows different way of music. So music have no focused way of expression in terms of the emotion. Music have the focused emotions such as joy and sadness. In Chinese education, the teaching goals are songs and both focus on student listen to music. The goals are set for students is to understand the worker desire to experience emote. Students should know the feeling on the motivation where they require creative work. This is the base of listen to music. Through many lesson class, students should have their own personal listening understanding of the page. The final goal is to understand the value experienced by music. Most of the songs required in Chinese music courses are based on the value of the qualities for teachers use music to help student development better. There are four parts of my teaching purpose of student. The first part is that student understand the emotion of famous work by listening to music. This is most base. The second part is improve student ability to evaluate music. When students listen to any piece of work, they can better give their own evaluate. The third part is that let students have their own unique understanding of each work. In the fourth part, my music teaching allows students to learn good values such as equality, which is helpful to personal goals of students and allow students to pass on good value to society through music. My teaching method is student center. First of all, teaching according to the characteristic of student. For example, in the one bank courses, students have a good theme of rhythm. I will let him use the advantage in the accompaniment part. My second teaching method is based on the student teaching interest. Smith proposed that teaching according to the interest of the student allow following the school is the best way to improve the motivation of the student to learn. Amongst my students, if students like classical music, I will teach them a lot of classical music knowledge. For music in other prepares, I can use the comparative method, such as comparing classical music and romantic music. My third teaching method is to use the cooperative teaching method. First, let students from a musical team and learn music together. When performing programs such as singing, I will also perform with my classmates so that they can communicate more. Regarding master of the scheduling, these are four types of music classroom in China: music appreciation courses, choral courses, general music teaching, and instrument music teaching. Whether in primary school or middle school, there is only one class of this type every week, and each class on hours. Regarding the open time of the courses, I think that music appreciation and general music teaching are offered in middle school because these two courses require the knowledge of other subjects such as history and some music experience choral, choral courses of offering in the primary school in China. Students who are about 10 years old will experience change in the world of children, and they will be basically stable after age of 10. Instrument music need to be open when are young. The advantage of the younger age is that your hand and softer and you can have a good musical foundation. In terms of the resource, mean divided in financial, physical, and human resource. With what I need is repair and buy some new musical instrument and buy some teaching equipment. We are all financial need. I also report the school before each semester, and school will find a special better to bet it. On the financial side, I need some musical newspaper and periodical, and the school will book online every month. In terms of the manpowers, I need some professors to give me some suggestions for training. I have a two way to evaluate students. The first is formative evaluate. I will record and evaluate the performance of each student in class, such as the question discussion. And the second evaluation method is summative evaluation, which is final test scores of the student. My My way of the evaluation teacher is summary evaluation, which is based on the student scores. The second is model evaluation, which is teacher make a suggestion to each other. The second method is evaluate by other, which is to let the student rate the teacher. This is my reference. Thank you for listening.